Welcome to the Den, the Dark Entertainment Network. I am the Gothic Rose, and this is a channel where the news meets conspiracy theories. It makes babies in my brain, and it comes out my mouth. If this is your type of content, be sure to like, follow, subscribe, and hit that bell, because I am not going to stop. Hello, dear fiends of the Den. We are back, and it is more paranormal news today. And I actually just really love this background. I designed it with AI. I love my floating head in the middle of it. It makes me feel like the genie from Pee Wee Herman. So, Mecca Lecca Hi, Mecca Heiny Ho to all of you out there that know what I'm talking about, right, Gen X? So let's get to more Annabelle because there's a lot of confusion about what's going on, and I'm here to clear it up. So these two guys, Matt Rife and Elton Castee, purchase Ed and Lorraine Warren's Connecticut home and museum and become the guardians of the demonic Annabelle doll, but it's only for 5 years. So let's check out why. So these two guys, Matt Rife and Elton Castee, purchase Ed and Lorraine Warren's Connecticut home and museum. So the deal on Annabelle is the ownership remains with the Warrens family, specifically Tony Spera, and that's Ed and Lorraine's son-in-law, and his wife Judy, which would be Ed and Lorraine's daughter. So Rife and Elton Castee are the legal guardians and caretakers for 5 years, not the owners. The haunted artifacts, including Annabelle, have been leased to them for a 5-year term starting in 2025. And Tony Spera clarified, "We have no plans to ever sell the artifacts, ensuring the collection stays within the family's control." And like I said, these guys are not going to last 30 to 90 days. I give them that amount of time before things start to go wrong. They've already said positively, do not open the case. But let's find out what this guardianship entails. So, Rife and Castee oversee the physical safety, public presentation, and paranormal stewardship of the artifacts. They're reviving the museum as a paranormal Airbnb, allowing overnight stays and guided tours. The 5-year term likely reflects a trial period balancing public interest with the family's desire to protect the legacy. Very interesting. So, what you see in these photos here, lots of these artifacts are going to have people who have never been near them before coming in and investigating. Now, Ed and Lorraine Warren opened their museum in the basement of their Connecticut home in Monroe, Connecticut in the year 1952. And it closed in 2019 amid COVID following their deaths, but also there was zoning disputes with the local authorities. So now, as of August 2025, Rife and Castee have leased the property and plan to open it as a paranormal Airbnb, which I think is the worst decision ever, but that is also up to the Warren family to see how this goes. And there they are. And I don't know, if you ask me, I don't usually look at images of Annabelle, but she looks a little too happy and smiley to have these guys around her. I know she's going to mess with them. All respect to Annabelle, because as I mentioned in my episode about going to a haunted tour of the Moon River Brewing Company, which is now closed permanently in Savannah, Georgia, there were salt circles, which I have said are just for show only. And I was touched through the salt circle, and a couple hours later was vomiting blood from a demon. This is a true story. I will attach this episode in the description so you guys can check it out. I mean, personally, I think reviving a museum is one thing, but making it an Airbnb where people are going to mess with Annabelle and other seriously haunted objects, I don't think is the smartest idea ever. But if this is a social experiment, I think a lot of people are about to fail. I mean, personally, I think reviving a museum is one thing, but I think they believe they know what they're doing, but one is a TikTok influencer, Ethan Castee, and he's going to just make videos and try to go viral off of seriously haunted objects. And Matt Rife has an interest in the paranormal. I have been living with the paranormal my whole life. I got like three demons attached to me. Another one touched me through a circle. And Annabelle, her legacy is absolutely chilling. And why they didn't use a real Raggedy Ann doll in the Annabelle movies, I will never know. I would have liked to see it the correct way. But in a long line of things, just recently, paranormal investigator Dan Rivera, who was Annabelle's caretaker and took her on the Devils on the Run tour, was found dead in his Gettysburg hotel room right after a show. Now, authorities found nothing suspicious, but Annabelle's curse has been reignited, especially since all of those plantations burned down and 911 was down in all of these places like North Carolina. So wherever she showed up, havoc was wreaked. I have so many comments in my paranormal playlist on TikTok. It's absolutely wild. But there's also past incidents, including fatal car crashes, brake failures, and eerie notes, reading Help Me, found by the original owners, which were the nurses in the 1970s. And Rife, who's a horror buff, joked, quote, "I should probably collect stamps or something. It might be a little safer," unquote. But with plans to open the museum to the public, how is anyone going to be safe? This could just wreak more havoc than ever needed. So you don't forget, here is a full list of the things that Annabelle has done. We're going to talk more paranormal all week long here in the den. So thank you for joining me. And you can always leave me notes, comments, and tell me about the scariest thing that's ever happened to you. I love those stories. If you've got something to say, send me an email at welcometothedenpodcast@gmail.com.